Okay. Ayan. Okay. So, ayan. Okay. So, today, your Module 5 is about distribution substations and automation. So, dalawa discuss natin about substation and also yung kanyang substation automation. Okay, so first, before we proceed, ano muna yung isang substation? Okay? So, ano ba yung substation? So, ang substation, so that is a part of your system kung saan yung voltage natin is transformed depende kung ano yung transformation niya. It's either uh, from high voltage to low voltage in case of a distribution substation. Okay, pwede ring um, from low voltage to high voltage katulad sa mga generation natin na substation or transmission substations. Okay, and yung power flows through substations, through several substations between plant and consumer, change the voltage level in several stages. Okay? So meron tayong several transformation ng voltahe sa along a system natin. So pag may generation, so from generation aangat, okay? And then meron ding another line minsan on a system, okay? Papunta doon sa pinaka substation, transmission substation, and then iaangat niya ulit yung voltahe. Okay, and then from your transmission system, okay, meron ka namang magiging transmission substation ulit na ibababa niya yung voltahe. And then papunta na sa distribution substation, which will again further lower voltage to distribution voltages. Okay, so may ganong pag-flow ng power. So meron tayong substation na step-up transformer. Okay, so pag step-up transformer, it increases your voltage. Pag tumaas ang voltage, bababa yung ating current. Pag step-down transformer naman, bababa yung voltage, aangat naman yung current natin. So ang word na substation, okay, so that is from the days before, yung word na yon is from the days before the distribution system became a grid. So ang mga substation noon is connected to only one power station where a generator is housed and where subsidiaries of that power substation. Okay? And then sa substation, meron tayong one or more transformers na merong mga switching, protection, and control equipment. Mamaya isa-isay natin yung mga equipment or mga components na isang substation. In a large substation, we have circuit breakers na ginagamit para ma-interrupt yung mga short circuit tsaka mga overload. Pag mga maliliit na distribution substation, meron tayong mga recloser, circuit breakers, or fuses na ginagamit as protection. So, ang isang typical na substation, we have line termination structures, high voltage switch gear, one or more power transformers. We also have a low voltage switch gear. We have surge protection, important ito. And then we also have control. Siyempre, important din ang control ng substation. Siyempre, isa rin importante yung grounding ng substation o yung kanyang earthing system. And also metering. Importante rin ang metering para masukat yung kuryente natin. Ito yung mga parameters like voltage, current, and current. And then meron ding ibang devices on a substation. We have power factor correction on a substation bus. At meron ding, or it can be a voltage regulator on a bus of your substation. This is bus voltage regulator or yung ating nasa bus din yung capacitors. Nandun siya sa substation nakalocate. We have different types ng substation. Isa-isay natin yung basic types. First, we have transmission substation. So, pag transmission substation, okay, sasabi natin for a transmission substation, we connect, yung substation na yon connects two or more transmission lines. Okay? Ang pinakasimple is that yung transmission lines na yon have the same voltage. So kapag same voltage na yon, ang tawag natin dyan is a switching station. Okay? Switching station na lang siya kasi walang transformation of voltage. Kaya pag same voltage yung transmission line nung dalawang transmission line nakakonect, same voltage, that is what we call a switching station. Okay? So, a small switching station may be little or more than a bus plus some circuit breakers. Pero pag malaki naman yung transmission substation, napakalaki naman ito. Okay? We have a large area with multiple voltage levels. So, merong 500 kilovolt, bababa niya to 230 kilovolts. Meron ding ibababa niya to 138 kilovolts depending on the next transmission line na pupuntahan niya. Okay? And then we have marami rin circuit breakers. This is because of your tawag dyan, bus scheme or bus layout. Depending on the bus layout, magkaroon tayo ng napakaraming circuit breaker. Usually, pag mga malaking substation, meron tayong ginagamit. Meron din ginagamit si NGCP or National Grid of the Philippines, Corporation of the Philippines na ginagamit. Meron siyang bus layout na ginagamit for their substations. At pag ginamit nila yon, marami kang breaker. Usually 2 to 3 circuit breakers per line. Per line yon. And then minsan pag malaking substation, hindi lang isang line. Minsan 2 lines, 2 lines and then 4 lines, depende. And then marami ring protections and control equipment. We have may voltage and current transformers, we have CTPT. May mga relays for protection, tsaka meron ding SCADA systems. Yung SCADA, malalaman natin ito mamaya. Switching stations, ito yung sabi ko kanina, switching station is a substation without transformers. Okay? So, mamaya pakita ko yung single line ng Palawan grid. Papakita ko sa inyo yung switching station natin dito. Okay? So, ang switching substation is walang transformer. And it only operates at a single voltage level. So, ang switching stations, ginagamit natin for collector and distribution stations. Sometimes they are used for switching the current back up for lines or for parallelizing circuits in case of failure. So, ang isa ring tawag for switching station is switchyard. Okay. Noon si Paleco substation, that is just a switchyard. Kasi yung pinanggalingan is 13.8 kV. Okay. Yung tie line natin na dati from Irawan is 13.8 kV. While yung ating distribution system is also at kasi nakaano yan, di ba? 13.2. Pero syempre, from the substation, that is 13.8 kV to allow for the 5% voltage drop. Diba? So, 13.2 times 1.05, that is 13.8 halos. 13.8 kV. Kaya 13.8 kV from the substation, so to allow for the voltage drop. Lalo na sa atin, nalayo ng mga linya natin. Okay? So, from the substation, that is 13.8 kV. Okay? May voltage drop pa from the Irawan substation. So let's say ang dumating is 13.4 kV na lang, and then papunta na sa inyo hanggang dulo 13.2 kV. So yun yung switching station, wala kang transformer. So same voltage level. So in this case, the generators from the power station supply their power into the yard and onto the generator bus on one side of the yard. And transmission lines take their power from a feeder bus on the other side of the yard. Okay. Next, collector substation. Usually, ito mga collector substation, ito yung sa mga DG. DG is distributed generation. Mga wind farm, mga PV, solar, yan. So, meron kang collector substation. So from the word itself, collector substation, siya yung nagko-collect ng ating power from those generation. Kasi ang mga wind farm natin tsaka mga PV system, hindi lang isang turbina yan tsaka isang solar panel. Marami yan. So ang trabaho ni collector substation, so sabi dito, it resembles a distribution substation although power flow is in the opposite direction. Okay? So kung sa distribution substation papunta sa load, okay? Ito naman yung power papunta sa substation. Papunta sa kanya yung power. Siya yung nagko-collect ng power mula sa mga units mo. Kasi ang wind farm, let's take for example yung sa Pililla, Rizal. So Pililla, Rizal, meron siyang wind farm. Okay? So that is ilan lang ang rating ni Ayun. Ang rating ni Pililla, kada isang turbina, kada isang wind niya, kada isang wind turbine is 2 megawatts. Malaki kasi yun halos 125 meters kataas yun. 125 meters kataas. 2 megawatts, and then we have 27 of those. So we have 27 by 2 megawatts. 27 na 2 megawatts. Okay? So ang trabaho ni collector substation, siya yung nako-collect ng power mula doon sa 27 na wind turbines, okay? And then pag na-collect na ng collector substation, siya na yung magdadala. Siya na yung magdadala nun from the collector substation palabas to your transmission lines. And then papunta na kung saan saang substation 'yon. And then ang collector substation natin is only around 35 kV, although some are 12 kV. In the case of Pililla, I think, kung di ako nakakamali that is 22 kilovolts, I think, 22 kilovolts. And then step up to, I think, 115 kilovolts or 138 kilovolts or 230 kilovolts. Di ko alam yung isang voltahe. So, basta ganun lang yun siya. And then, sabi natin dito, from that voltage, okay, 22 kV, inangat na for the transmission voltage na siya. So, like 230 kilovolts and 138 kilovolt. Depende na sa line. So, meron ding minsan ang collector substation can also provide power factor correction kung kailangan. Siyempre, meron ding metering and control ng wind farm. And in some cases, special cases, we also have an HVDC or high voltage direct current converter station. Okay? So, kadalasan meron ding minsan lang or special cases merong HVDC converter station, yung isang collector substation. Next type, converter substation. Okay? Converter substation. This is associated with HVDC or high voltage direct current converter plants, traction current, or interconnected non-synchronous networks. So, example ng converter substation sa Pilipinas is, kung alam ninyo, meron tayo, di bang, nababanggit ko na ito noon, we have a 350 kilovolt high voltage direct current line connecting Luzon grid and Visayas grid. Okay? Meron tayong 350 kilovolts. That is high voltage direct current. So kasi 'di ba that is HVDC, yung line na yon which connects Luzon and Visayas grids. That is HVDC. So bago yung linya na yon, AC kasi yon. That is high voltage AC. So para ma-convert from AC to DC, DC to AC, pag dun sa kabilang linya, dulo ng linya, okay, we have a converter substation. So, yung mga station na yan, we have power electronic devices to change the frequency of current, or etong sabi natin, convert AC to DC. So, para naging DC na yung uh, ating transmission. So that is the case of your Luzon, interconnection of your Luzon and Visayas grid, that is high voltage direct current. So, dati, ang ginagamit is rotary converter. So, yung rotary converter, siya nag-change ng frequency which interconnect two systems. Nowadays, such stations are rare. Okay? So, kasi yung ating interconnection ng Luzon to Visayas grid, matagal na yan. Hindi ko na, parang 1990s pa yata yan, yung interconnection na yan. And then, next type is the customer substation. Customer substation, from the word itself, customer. Pag customer, syempre, ito na yung mga customer natin na malalaki, na kailangan niya ng malaking power demand, katulad ng mga industrial zones, okay? Or isang napakalaking industrial plant. So, pag customer substation, it functions as the main source of power supply for one particular business customer. So, pag malaki yung kanyang loads, kasi pag napakalaki ng load mo, like example, you are a industrial plant. Okay? Industrial ka, napakalaki ng power demand mo. Siyempre, napakalaki ng mga machines mo doon, mga motors mo. You can connect directly to the transmission system, to the 69 kilovolt system or to the 138 kilovolt system. Pwede ka mag-connect doon direkta. Kasi napakalaki ng load demand mo, let's say 10 MVA. O imbes na dadaan ka pa ng distribution, and then kung napakalaki ng demand mo, 10 MVA, laki-laki ng demand mo, you can tap directly on the transmission system. And then magkakaroon ka na ng tinatawag nating customer substation. Kasi sa'yo lang yun na substation. So the technical requirements and the business case for this type of facility depends highly on the customer's requirements. Nakadepende ito sa customer, sa requirement ng customer. More so than on utility needs. And I think this is the last type, distribution substation. Ito na yun nandyan sa Paleco substation. So that transfers power from the transmission system to the distribution system of an area. So, ito naman kapag it is uneconomical to directly connect electricity consumers to the main transmission network unless they use large amounts of power. In the case ng ating mga industrial, di ba? Meron kang customer substation, directly connected to your main transmission system or to a transmission system or sub-transmission system. So, the distribution station reduces voltage to a level suitable for local distribution. For example, 13.2 kV or 34.5 kV in the case of Meralco system. Okay, so that is the introduction and then the different types. Ang ating focus for our discussion is distribution substation. Okay, so distribution substation. So this is a combination of switching, controlling, and voltage step-down equipment arranged to reduce sub-transmission voltage to primary distribution voltage for distribution of electrical energy to customers. So ano ang purpose ng isang distribution substation? First is to take power at high voltage level from the transmission and or the sub-transmission level, reduce its voltage, and route it onto a number of primary voltage feeders. So, parang sa ating Puerto Princesa system, we have the Paleco substation, then we have primary voltage feeders, limang feeder, yung Irawan, GMA, San Jose, Poblacion, tsaka Westcom, for distribution in the area surrounding it. So, for distribution na yun. may bago rin pala na mga planong distribution substation on the north and on the south. So, nabanggit ko rin nakaraan sa inyo yun. Meron ng nag-groundbreaking last time, this year lang din, for a distribution substation. 5 MVA yun, 5 MVA, one on the north, rural barangays, and one for the south, rural barangays, para mabawasan na natin yung, dyan, mabawasan natin yung high voltage drop due to long lines. And then the next purpose is to perform operational and contingency switching and protection duties at both the transmission and feeder levels. Also, your distribution substation provides a convenient local site for additional equipment such as communications, storage of tools, etc. So, substations performance and economy interact count greatly with the subtransmission and feeder system. The influence of substations on the cost and reliability of transmission and distribution often outweighs their own cost and reliability. Okay. So, ang isa ring ano nito is delivery points of the transmission system. So, transmission system must reach and deliver power even in cases where the task is costly or unreliable because of other system constraints. And your distribution substation is a starting point for the feeder system. So if the substation is in a poor location from the standpoint of the feeder system, it increases feeder costs and decreases reliability. So kapag pangit yung location ng substation, makakaroon tayong problema on reliability. So ito yung mga fundamental parts of a substation. We have HV side, buswork and protection. We have the transformer. We have the low voltage side, buswork and protection. And we have also the substation side. Yun yung mga fundamental parts natin for a substation. So, apat yan. So, first, HV side, buswork and protection. Ano mga functions nito? So, we have, this is termination for the incoming transmission. Protection. We have switching, monitoring and control, and metering. Take note, this represents from 1/4 to 1/3 of the substation's total cost. So ganun siya kamahal. So halos 1/3 or 1/4 up to 1/3. And then we have radial subtransmission supply. Ayan, example. Meron tayong minsan, ito yung ating incoming transmission. Okay? First is no high side breaker. So wala kang breaker on the high side bago mag-transformer. Then we have your outgoing feeders na dito. Meron ding isang case na meron tayong high side breaker, okay, before the transformer. So meron tayong breaker on the high side. Okay. And then meron din tayong isang configuration na meron siyang loop tulad nito. Okay, meron kang looping, walang transmission feed breakers, wala ang breaker dito. Ang breaker dito lang before the transformer. Meron ding isa na meron pang transmission breaker. Ayan o. Ito meron dito. So check nyo na lang sa ating Palawan single line diagram kung ano yung ating configuration. So meron tayong apat. We have again no high side breaker with high side breaker, no transmission breakers with transmission breakers. Okay. And then we have the loop or dual subtransmission supply. So itong ang makapal na line, this is transmission system or transmission line. Okay, yung makapal na line, that is transmission line. Itong manipis na linya, this is a sub-transmission line. So, a sub-transmission loop is not actually a loop circuit. It terminates at different locations in the transmission grids but loops through different substations. So, from a transmission substation, okay, this is a transmission substation. Lumabas, we have 145 MVA. Okay. And then meron tayong mga substation rated 60 MVA, 40 MVA, 55 MVA, and 35 MVA. Nandito. So, 145 MVA minus 60 MVA. So, mag-flow na lang after this substation is 85 MVA. Then, after that, 40 MVA dito na substation. So, 45 MVA na lang mag-flow. And then, for the 55 MVA transformer, 45 lang natira. Plus, sa kabilang side, may natira pang 10 MVA. So, that is now 55 MVA. And then, dito sa right, 45 MVA, 35 MVA yung substation. So, may natirang 10 MVA. So, sakto to. So, 45 plus 10 MVA, you have 55 MVA. So, this is the loop or dual sub-transmission supply. So, dalawa yung supply niya, ng 55 MVA substation. So, meron kang on the left and on the right. So, ito rin 40 MVA, kung sakali, pwede rin siya magkaroon ng supply from the right side. Depende kung ilan yung load na nandito ngayon. So, kasi nagbabago-bago yan, di ba? Meron tayong mga off-peak, tsaka mga on-peak. So, magbabago yan yung flow na yan. We have alternative configurations for dual feed substation with multiple transformers. Okay, sa A, okay, meron kang dalawang transformer, then you have protections on the low side. And then for letter B, meron kang protection on the high side. Okay. For letter C, ang naiba dito, you have a tiebreaker dito sa dito, which can be operated para pwede ma-transfer power from another line to another line, then going to your transformer. And then another one, letter D, wala siyang may tie line, may line dito, pero walang tiebreaker. So, breaker lang on the lines. And then isang ito, merong normally open na breaker, ayan. And then meron na tayong ganitong system. Naka-off, naka-close lahat. And then, we have your letter G, ganitong style naman. Meron kang tatlong transformer, and then you have tiebreaker na dalawa. Then you have high side breakers, transmission breakers. Okay, next we proceed to the transformer. So ito, tsura ng transformer natin on a distribution substation. Malaki yan. Depende kung ilang MVA. Pag mas malaking MVA, syempre, mas malaki yung transformer. So, distribution substations utilize 1 to 6 transformers to convert incoming power from substation sub-transmission voltage to the primary distribution voltage. So, transformers are not the only reason for ano to? Ayan, ano yung French word na yan. So, it often represent the largest portion of the cost. Napakamahal ng transformer na yan. So, usually that is 1/2 to 2/3 of the total substation cost. So, ganun kamahal yung ating transformer. So, kung yung high voltage side buswork is 1/4 to 1/3 of the total substation cost, ito naman is 1/2 to 2/3 of the total substation cost. Ganun siya kamahal. So, substation capacity. So, sum of all the rated capacity of each transformer. So, let's say, for example, yung ating Paleco substation, that is 225 MVA. Dalawang 25 MVA. So, ang substation capacity for a 2 by 25 MVA transformer, that is 50 MVA. So sum lang ng rated capacity. So, 2 times 25, that is 50 MVA. Meron tayong different transformer types. We have Dito ganong ginagamit. Separate single-phase transformers in a rural one-transformer substation. Okay? Hindi ganong ginagamit itong single-phase transformer. Usually, ang ginagamit natin is three-phase transformers. Then we have special types. We have low footprints, high impedance, and three-winding. Three-winding, kung makita nyo yung doon kanina, that is a three-winding. Tatlong bilog. So, this three-winding. So, delta, Y, delta. Three-winding. And then, we have number of transformers in a substation. So, kung narin kanina, sa Nara, Brooks Point, Rojas, isang transformer lang. Single transformer yon. And then, multiple transformers, diyan sa Paleco substation, we have 2 transformers. So, ano ang ng multiple transformers? So, that is for reliability and contingency support. We have for the size and transportability and expandability. Ito, nasa gitna, zoom natin. Ay, balik. So, zoom natin. Yan, no? This is a three-winding transformer. Ito nasa gitna. Yan. This is a three-winding transformer. So, from 138 kilovolts, we can have 25 kV and a 13.8 kV. So, we have three-winding transformer. So, yung isa, 25 kV. Yung isa is 13.8 kV. That is a three-winding transformer. We have transformer configurations in substations. So, multiple transformers are served from a common source. And then transformers are applied as individual units with no direct connection other than to a common source. And each transformer provides service to an exclusive set of from 1 feeders to 6 feeders that it normally serves. This being fed from a low voltage side bus connected to and associated with the transformer alone. So these are the two types of utilization infrequently seen in distribution substation. First, we have your parallel transformers. Okay? Itong mga to hindi infrequently seen, hindi to gano'ng nakikita on a system. So this is parallel transformer. Meron kang dalawang nakaparallel na transformer. Then may common bus ka, okay? And then going to your feeders. Hindi ganito yung itsura ng ating Paleco substation. Although dalawang transformer 'yon, okay, yung Paleco substation, although dalawang transformers 'yon, yung Paleco substation, magkahiwalay naman yung bus nito ng transformer 1, ibang bus 'yan. And then ibang bus din for transformer 2. Meron lang naka-connect na tiebreaker. Okay? Pero hindi siya single bus tulad nito. Nakahiwalay ito. Okay? Connected by a tiebreaker only. And then we have hindi ito ganun nakita to. Serial transformation. So let's say we have a transformer from 138 kV step down to 69 kV. And then another transformer which step down 69 kV to 12 kV. So hindi ito ganun ginagamit. Dalawang transformer naka-series. Then dalawang voltage transformation. So from 69 to from 138 to 69 kV and then from 69 to 12 kV. So hindi ito ganun ginagamit. So ito yung mga characteristics most used in most substations. Ito nangyari sa atin ganito. In this case, meron tayong dalawang transformer, di ba? Ayan. And then may sarili kang bus for that transformer. And then meron ka lang tiebreaker which is normally open, ayan, no? Open breaker or switch. So ganito yung ating style on the Paleco substation. So ganito yan siya. Okay. So in this case, sa drawing, we have 3 transformers and then we have a separate bus for your what do we call this? We have a separate bus for each transformer interconnected by a open breaker or a tie breaker. And then going to feeders. So we have 3 feeders each for your transformer. And then we proceed to the low voltage side buswork and protection. So this is a termination for the outgoing feeders. Okay? So sa low voltage side, let's say this is now 13.8 kV or 13.2 kV. So ito na yung termination for outgoing feeders. And then meron din tayong protection dyan, switching voltage regulation, monitoring and control, of course, and metering. Hindi mawala pa rin ang metering. So, ang low voltage side, buswork, medyo maliit lang ng cost, percentage ng cost. That is only 1/15 to 1/5 of the substation's total cost. Napakababa compared to the HV side buswork. Because na rin, kaya mahal yung sa high voltage side buswork and protection, kasi high voltage yun. Mas mahal talaga ang cost ng equipment at high voltages compared to low voltages. So kaya mura na lang yung low voltage natin na buswork and protection. So we have the LV side substation arrangement. Ito, pag mga kwan, sa A, we only have a single transformer. And then, yung sa atin nga dito sa atin, pag sa mga munisipyo, pag sa munisipyo na substation, walang voltage regulator. So, diretso to. Okay, meron ka lang, hindi siya fuse. Ang ginagamit is recloser. Okay? And then, B, ito yung sa Paleco natin, substation, 2 transformers with a tie breaker, ayan, na open, and then connected. May 2 buses ka, 1 for each transformer, and then going to the feeders. And then ito yung medyo complex na substation arrangement, letter C. So we have, ayan no, meron pa siyang between the buses, i-zoom ko na lang para makita ng unti. Ayan. Ayan no, between the 2 buses na yan, ayan no, may tiebreaker. Bukod doon, meron pa siyang tiebreaker again to connect bus number 1 and bus number 3 itong sa kabila. Okay? And then may low may low side breakers ka rin dito for after the transformer. And then meron kang mga circuit breakers papunta na sa mga feeder. Also you have voltage regulators. So magastos yung ganito na system. Marami kang breakers. Also, you have maraming voltage regulators. Substation site. Last fundamental part. So, this is a substation. This is a substation. And then, ayan, yung tsura. So, elements ng site cost, we have land, syempre. Importante yun. Pag walang land, hindi mo matayo yung substation mo. We also have the civil, mechanical, electrical works. We have the feeder gateway, public safety and aesthetic, taxes and permits. Okay, first is land. So land. So identify seating needs far in advance through long-term planning. So buy sites at whatever time provides the lowest present work cost. Okay. And then we fence immediately and store several pieces of spare or surplus substation equipment. A fence yard with breakers and transformer makes it clear that the site is a utility substation, avoiding yan. Okay? And then we have civil, electrical, mechanical. So preparation includes providing, so pag sa substation, kailangan natin ng grounding grid. Importante ang grounding. This is for protection. We have, and safety. We also have foundations for racks and equipment. And then we have underground electric cables for transmission and distribution. We have underground ductwork for control and communication cables. Siyempre, we have control house, which houses your controls and houses your switch gears and other facilities to support the electrical function of the substation. Okay. Feeder gate. Feeder getaway. Feeder getaway. So routing of a large number of feeders out of a substation. So ito siya. So we have challenging. This is challenging yung feeder getaway for congested and restricted sites. So if not carefully fixed far in advance, the sites available to utility may have severe limitations on the routing of the distribution row and easements out of the site. So meron tayong row, ROW is right of way. And then even though all construction is intended to be overhead, feeders may have to be routed several meters in underground ducts before space available above ground becomes available. So minsan underground ducts ito. Yung feeder get away and then angat para maging overhead. And then syempre, we have the public safety and aesthetic. So the site includes a fence or a wall around the site to secure it from public access. Kung nakapunta kayo dyan sa Peleca substation, syempre meron yang fence that is for safety. Para hindi basta-basta makapasok ang kahit sino. Only authorized personnel lang ang makakapasok. And in some areas, kung saan may problema talaga, ang mga fence natin is can be 10 meters high para hindi talaga siya mapasukan. Kasi minsan may nag-over pag maliliit lang yung, or pag mababa lang yung fence mo eh. May nag-over the bakod eh. Sa high school nga, may nag-over the bakod eh, tsaka sa college eh. Diba? Para malamang mapasok. Paano pa kaya yung mga substation na yan? Utility may be required to landscape the site. Yung kay Paleco may mga pintura-pintura doon, parang mural niya doon. And then the substation may be enclosed in what appears to be a building. So this is in the case of a pag mga ano to, mamaya meron tayong indoor substation. This is in the case we have cottage substation. So to hide your substation. So usually ito rin kapag mga indoor substations. Hindi mo siya mahalata na substation pala 'yun. Okay? Hindi pala siya substation. Baliktad. Di mo mahalata na substation 'yun. Kasi naka-enclosed. Okay? So this is on the left, on your left. This is a site for outdoor substation. Ayan. Meron kang ganito. We have transformer, then you have your this one. And then this is the site for indoor substation. Ayan, no. Malabo nga lang. Okay, we have different types. Ito na. So we have two types. Pag outdoor, that is air insulated substation or AIS. So air lang yung insulation. And then kapag indoor, we have gas insulated substation or GIS. So ano yung difference between the two? Ito gas insulated, ito is air insulated. Okay, further, AIS on the left and GIS on the right. Ito usually GIS, so sa ilalim siya nakalagay, underground yung GIS na nasa figure, underground siya. Ito, siyempre, above the ground, and then air ang insulation. Ito, gas. So AIS or air insulated substation. So we have minimum na susunod for face-to-face and face-to-ground clearances. So kapag air insulation mo, kailangan ma-maintain natin yung minimum na face-to-face or face-to-ground clearances. Bakit? Kung hindi natin ma-maintain ito, yung minimum na to, maaari tayong magkaroon ng electrical arcing, which will lead to short circuit and it can cause failure of your equipment or in the worst case of your substation. So the AIS open design must not be touched. So hindi mo pwedeng hawakan yan. Siyempre, matakot ka sa 69 kV and up na voltages. Pag 500 kV daw na pag 500 kilovolts daw yung ating substation. This is usually on transmission substations eh. Pag 500 kilovolts daw, nakakatakot lumakad doon sa ilalim ng ng substation. Kasi sa taas niya, di ba, may mga lines. Nakakatakot yon. Kasi narinig mo yung may narinig kang hiss nung line. Kasi 500 kilovolts yun. May narinig kang zzz. Ganun. For 500 kV, nakakatakot. And then, always set up in the form of fenced-in electrical operating area to which only authorized personnel have access. Tulad sabi natin kanina. So, AIS is directly exposed to the effects of the environment, such as weather, especially lightning. So, pwedeng tamaan ng kidlat yung inyong substation kapag AIS. So may chance yan ha. Parang meron na nangyari noon na tinamaan ng kidlat yung substation dito sa atin. Hindi ko sure kung yung Paleco or yung Irawan substation yung tinamaan. Basta may nangyari na yan noon na isang beses na tinamaan yung substation. So in the result, as a result, nag-blackout. Siyempre substation lang tinamaan. And it has to be designed based not only on the electrical but also environmental specifications. Importante ito. And then ito ang isang natin for AIS. This or AIS requires bigger land area than the GIS. Okay? So napakalaki ng area ng AIS compared to a GIS. O GIS tayo. So ang GIS or gas insulated substation gumagamit ng superior dielectric gas which is SF6 at a moderate pressure for face-to-face and face-to-ground insulation. SF6 is sulfur hexafluoride. Okay? Sulfur hexafluoride. O 6 yan eh. So, the high voltage conductors, circuit breaker, interrupters, switches, CTs, PTs are in SF6 gas inside grounded metal enclosure. So meron kang SF6 gas. And then, yun. So, nasa SF6 gas yung conductors, yan, breakers, mga equipment mo. In short. So, the atmospheric air insulation used in a conventional AIS substation, AIS na substation pa. So, pag sa conventional na substation or AIS, it requires meters of air insulation. Okay? So, pag SF6, centimeters lang. Okay? Compare that. So, pag AIS, meters ang kailangan niya for face-to-face or face-to-ground clearances. Pero kapag SF6, centimeters lang. So, pwedeng magdikit-dikit yung mga equipment mo since meron ka namang SF6 gas as insulation. Okay? So, as a result, again, yung GIS can be smaller than the AIS by a factor up to 10. So, ganun siya kaliit. So, kung let's say 100, maliit ang 100 square meters for a substation. Let's say we have sabi natin 1,000 square meters yung substation. Okay? Let's say 1,000 square meters ng substation. Pwede siya na 100 square meters na lang in a JS. Same voltage rating, same MVA rating. Pwede maging 100 square meters na lang yung magiging area. Ganun kaliit. So from 1,000 square meters in a conventional setup ng substation, air insulation. So pwede maging 100 square meters na lang. Parang lote lang yun, no? Ganun ang kaliit. Pwede ka na magkaroon ng isang substation na GIS or gas insulated substation. Okay? So in a GIS, the active parts are protected from deterioration due to atmospheric air, moisture, contamination, etc. As a result, GIS is more reliable and it requires less maintenance than your AIS. So, ito, GIS, meron to sa Metro Manila ngayon. I think sa Pasay, meron silang GIS doon. So, ginagamit ito kasi pag walang space or mahal yung space. Alam niyo naman sa Manila ngayon, diba? Kunti na lang ang lupa. So, this is suitable for urban areas na wala lang ganong lupa. So, gamit is GIS.